It will destroy your life if you let it. It will destroy your life if you let it. And the truth is, it is already destroying your life. The truth is, it has already took so much away from you. The truth is, it is stopping you from being the best version of yourself. The truth is, it has so much control over you that you don't know if you can move past it. You don't know if this is something that you can actually defeat. And this might be your last chance. That's how you got to treat it. This might be your last hope. That's how you have to treat it. You have to understand that it's never going to go away if you don't just say, hey, it has to go. If you don't say, hey, it has to go, and do everything in your power to fight it and to win these battles. And so in order to win these battles, you got to have a couple things in mind. The first thing, you got to have God on your side. You got to understand that some battles is hard for us to face alone. But if we have God, then we are able to win because he's never lost. Okay. And so I want a winner on my team. That's a winner. And it's pretty much that easy. You have to understand that the devil will use technology to try and harm you. That doesn't mean that technology is bad. Technology is neutral, the same way money is neutral, but technology will have a lot of things that can make you deterred, make you go off track, make you go not according to plan. So you might be on Instagram or you might be on a social media platform, and then you see one thing, and then one thing leads to another, and then it leads to another, and then it leads to another. You already know the roadmap, you know where it's headed. So you have to have control, and you have to say, you know what? No, I'm done with this. I'm not even going to go on here. And if that means you have to delete the app, then that means that you have to delete the app, right? If that means you have to clean out your algorithm or unfollow people that you're not supposed to be following, then that's what you have to do. Only follow motivational pages. Only follow things that will help evolve your soul and carry you to where you need to go. So I'm not saying that you have to delete social media, but what I'm saying is you have to truly restart your whole explore page if you can. And you have to make sure that you're only following people that are going to inspire you and motivate you to be the best version of yourself. Because if you don't, that could bring you right back to where you are at square one. You have to want this. You have to want a better life. You have to want the opportunity to, you know what, I'm waking up today and I'm choosing not to do this. I'm choosing not to watch this. I'm choosing not to fall for temptation. It's your life, and it's up to you to be purpose driven. It's your life, and it's up to you to be purpose driven. It's up to you to be locked in. You can't let these things run you. You're destined for greatness. Sometimes we can't defeat it because we don't know who we are. We just think that we here. You're not just here. You're not here by mistake. You're here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. You're here to be great. If you can defeat that, how much greater can you be? If you can defeat that, how much more purposeful can you be? The reason why men are addicted, I use the word corn. The reason why men are addicted to corn, partly because their purpose is not great enough. Their purpose is not large enough. Their purpose is not serious enough. You have to get more serious about your purpose. It's purpose over pleasure. That's what it really boils back down to. It's purpose over pleasure. It's most definitely having God on your side. But the second point is making sure that you're using technology properly, or you're getting rid of certain social media apps, or you're cleaning out your For You page and making sure that it looks how you want it to look. You're following the right people. But most importantly, you have to understand that it's purpose over pleasure. It's purpose over play. There comes a point in our life where we stop playing around, where we put our purpose first, where we put our goals first, where we lock in on what's important and we go all in on that. You have to seriously go all in on your purpose. You got to be on it. You got to be obsessed with it. You're not obsessed enough with your purpose, which is why you have leisure time and time left over to sit here and look at things that you're not supposed to be looking at. If you're purposeful and you're on your grind and you're building the life that you want, you'll have time to watch videos like these. You'll have time to be on a podcast and watch a self-improvement podcast. We got a podcast. You could be listening to that. You got time to read a book and do something more productive with your life, because you're obsessed with getting 1% better each day. But guys who are not obsessed with self-improvement, guys who are not obsessed with growth, they're given what they need to watch. They're given their schedule. They're given what they use their time for, because idle time is one of the worst things that you can have. And the Bible speaks on that as well. I don't know your faith. I don't know what you believe, but I know that in that scripture, it speaks about the fact that we should not have idle time. We should always be doing something, whether it's connecting with God, whether it's just being at peace, going for a walk outside, working out. If you already worked out once and you're bored, go and do a second workout. Focus more on cardio. Always do something with your time. Work towards your future. Plan your day out. Journal. Read books. Learn more. There's so much that we can do. That's the beauty of self-improvement. That's the beauty of getting 1% better each day. If you're truly obsessed with that, then corn cannot stop you. Images of women cannot stop you. The over-sexualization of society cannot stop you. And the truth is, you're fighting a huge battle. It's a lot of lust going on. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of temptation. But if you can defeat that temptation, you'll make it to where you want to go. If you can defeat that temptation, you'll make it to where you want to be. Where do you truly want to be in life? You got to keep thinking about that. Because if you don't prioritize that, then you're going to keep falling for the distractions. And it's action over distractions. It's purpose over pleasure. I'm telling you, it's purpose over pleasure. It's purpose over pleasure all day, every day. And I know it sounds easier said than done, but when you're on your purpose and when you're obsessed with it and when you're locked in on self-improving, then that's what it's all about. And you don't want to do nothing else. So you got to get serious about the goals that you have for yourself. You got to get serious about your dreams. You have to get serious about where you want to be in life. I promise you, you'll see the changes. I promise you, you'll start to see your life elevate. You got to create a schedule. And the schedule that you create, this is the fourth point, the schedule that you create has to be serious, man. It has to be a serious schedule where I wake up, I do everything I need to do for the day, I'm connecting with God, and there's non-negotiables, right? There's non-negotiables. One of my favorite interviews with Kobe said, he was on the podcast with Jay Shetty. Kobe said, I made a commitment to myself. I made a commitment with myself, and I made a deal with myself, and I can't break that deal. I got to fulfill that promise. I have to fulfill that deal. I can't break that deal. I can't break that promise. I made a promise to myself that I was going to work all summer. I was going to put the work in, and I'm not going to negotiate with myself. Stop negotiating with yourself. The reason why a lot of men stay addicted to corn is because they say one last time. We've all fallen for that trick. One last time, one last time, one last time, one last time. And then one last time ends up being one more time. That's really what it is. It's not one last time, it's one more time. And then you do it again and it's one more time. And then you do it again and it's one more time. And then you do it again and it's one more time. And you do it again and it's one more time. Now you 5 times deep, you 6 times in deep, you 7 times in deep. But you need to call on the big 7. You need to call on God. You need to call on the man in the heavens. You need him on your side. You need him on your team. You need to have purpose. You need to build a schedule so where you don't have idle time. Fill up your schedule with purposeful things. Fill up your schedule with things that you enjoy. Go outside, play basketball, go and play video games. I'd rather you do that. I'd rather you do that than to be a victim of corn. We're leaving that in 2024. We're not bringing that towards 2025 and beyond. We have to move forward. I truly believe that it should be banned. I believe that it's hurting our generation. I believe it's hurting society. I believe it's hurting men. And I'm sorry that we have to go through this as a collective. I'm sorry that we have so much lust going on in the world. I'm sorry that we have so much temptation and it's only getting worse. I'm sorry that this is the generation that we're in, but this is the generation that we're in. And the reason why we're facing all of this is because God truly believes that we can rise above and be the kings that we're meant to be. God truly believes that we can still look at all this temptation and say, I'm focused, I'm locked in, and I'm driven on my purpose. And if you can do that, you're unstoppable. The men who do that will see the success that they want in their life. They will see the success that they want in their life, and they'll get that beautiful woman. They'll get that girl that looks so attractive to them, and that will be their real life woman who's down for them, who's loyal and who's beautiful, and it'll be yours. That'll be your girl. When you watch too much of that stuff, you got to understand it also hurts your mind when you look at women. You start looking at women in a different way. Y'all know this. You start looking at them as a piece of meat. And that's not how we should be looking at women at all. I'm married. I know the beauty of women. I also know that there's women out here who just want to sell their body, make their money on OnlyFans, and hurt the generation of men. Whether they know that they're hurting us or not, they are. And they know, deep down, they know, but they're making that money. The truth is, it ain't even their fault. It's our fault because we the ones paying for it. We're hurting ourselves. Why y'all making OnlyFans women become millionaires? I got to keep talking about this further and further for sure in other videos. I don't want to get too much off topic, but it's all the same thing. Some of y'all so deep in, you're not even watching it for free. You paying for it. You paying for it, for pixels on the screen. We have to get better. You have to understand real life experience will always be greater. Real life experience will always be better. You'll never get real life experience if you in the bathroom doing things that you're not proud of. You'll never get real life experience if that's what you're doing. You got to be focused. You got to be locked in. You got to want better for yourself. You got to want more for yourself, and you got to do the things that you got to do. It's so attractive when a man can practice sexual discipline. It's attractive to women when we do that. When we practice sexual discipline, that's so attractive to women. And sexual discipline is not just about semen retention or celibacy. It's about saying no to corn. It's about saying no to the things that don't serve us. It's about saying no. It's about saying I'm done with that. It's about saying I'm leaving that in 2024. I'm not bringing that towards 2025 and beyond. It's about being a better version of yourself and understanding that you can be more, that you can do more, that you can achieve more, that you can actually create the life that you want, that it's purpose over pleasure, that it's action over distractions, that it's God over the devil, that it's the winning team over the losing team, that it's the team that's on purpose versus the team that's on that pleasure stuff. Because when we on our purpose, then we the ones that get to have the most fun later on, because we put the work in, we put the grind in. But if you sitting here, man, and you doing that all day, every day, how can you truly grow? How can you truly evolve? How can you truly be the person that you want to be? How can you truly live a better life? How can you truly connect with God when you live in such filth and sin? I got to call it what it is. I've been there before too. I'm just a brother being honest with you. We living in so much filth. We living in so much sin. You got to fight it. And if you ain't fighting it, then you for sure gonna lose. And I'll say this, but I'll say that because I said that, but I want to say this as well. A righteous man falls down 7 times, but he gets back up 8. A righteous man falls down 7 times, but he gets back up 8. Life is not about perfection. Life is not about being perfect. But it's about, hey, I sinned. I acknowledge my sin. I'm going to get back up and I'm going to win. I'm going to get back up and I'm going to be better. I'm going to get back up and I'm going to be a better man. I'm going to get back up and I'm going to be purpose driven. But I'll be lying if I said that this thing is not hurting a lot of us men. It's hurting us. It's harming us. It's stopping us from being great. It's stopping us from achieving our goals. It's stopping us from talking to women in real life. It's stopping us from being confident. Men are losing confidence. Men are treating this like a drug, like it's crack cocaine. When you look at the brain module, when you look at somebody who's watching corn and somebody who's on crack cocaine, corn is worse. The brain module will show that it's worse than the brain scan show that it's worse than crack cocaine. If that's not scary to you, then I don't know what is. Just because you can't see it, just because you're not sniffing something in your nose in order to watch it, just because it's not crack or it's not a physical drug, it's a mental drug. It's a spiritual drug. And there's nothing cool about seeing people do what they do on a screen. It's nothing cool about that. It's nothing fun about that. The content you watch, you got to protect it. You got to protect your eyes. You got to protect what you're looking at, because you absorb that. You become that. There's people on my channel, man, they're starting to change their life. This is if you're new here. They're starting to change their life. They're starting to elevate their life. They're starting to be purpose driven. If you don't know what purpose driven means, it means that you're driven by purpose. You have a purpose in life. You're going after it. You're working hard. You're not wasting your time. And you're doing the best that you can with the 24 hours that God has given you each and every day. And they see the changes in their life because they consume my content. They consume self-improvement content. And then they go out there in the real world and they go out there and they do it and they make it happen. And what I'm asking you, y'all, is I'm saying, yo, what content are you watching? If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, because this is the type of content I'm trying to make. I know the things that we need to do. We have to be on our grind. We have to be on our purpose. And I'm just trying to help you and remind you of that. I'm fighting these battles with y'all. We can do this. But I'm telling you, yo, we not gonna win if we ain't at least trying to fight. We not gonna win if we can't acknowledge what we doing is crazy. We have to acknowledge it. The first step of change is acknowledging I'm an addict. In the comment section, I know y'all probably not gonna want to do this, man, but I hope that some of y'all surprise me. I hope that some of y'all really surprise me. I was an addict and this is what you did. If you're no longer addicted, talk about the things that you did to break that addiction. But if you're addicted to corn right now, put in the comment section, I'm an addict. I'm an addict. I'm addicted and I want to change that. I want to change that. Because that's the only way that you can actually change that. That's the only way that you can actually see what you're trying to see. That's the only way that you'll see the growth that you want in life. You have to admit where you're at. You have to admit what you're doing. You have to admit that what you've been doing, you're not proud of. You got to admit that. You got to be real with that. You got to be real with yourself. You got to keep it real. And if you can't admit it, then you won't see the changes in order to change your life. You won't see the changes that you need to do in order to change your life. If you can't admit that you have a problem, then you won't start seeing the changes that you need to make in order to change your life, because you think everything's cool. You think everything's all right. You think it's cool to do that. There's going to be people who think it's cool to do that. Oh, it's all right to do that. But the truth is, you're throwing your life away. The truth is, you're wasting time looking for the perfect video when the perfect moment to change your life is right now. You haven't been going to that gym. You could go to that gym. You could get on that floor. You could do some push-ups. The grinding, the work, the effort, connecting with God, just sitting down, looking outside and just appreciating nature. There's so much more that we could be doing. There's so much more that we could be building. But we got to be purpose driven. We got to want it, dog. We got to want it. We got to want a better life, man. I'm trying to talk to y'all, bro. We got to want a better life. In order to defeat this thing, you got to understand it's a battle. It's a war. What side of the war you want to be on? You trying to win or what? You got to have God on your side. You got to have faith. You got to keep trying. You got to keep trying. Because the truth is, it's only going to get worse out here. People going to be crazier and crazier, do crazier things. Those type of videos is going to be everywhere on all social media platforms. It's already soft corn. Right? The BBL bandits are outside. They're taking their pictures on Instagram. They're posting it to hit the explore page. They could do what they do, but it's up to us to be responsible enough to say no. It's up to us to be responsible enough to say, I'm better than that. It's up to us to be responsible enough to say, I don't want to indulge in that. Are you going to do that, or are you going to fall for temptation over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? I know you can be better. I know you can do better. I know you can achieve greatness, but you have to want to achieve it for yourself. You have to want this for yourself. You have to want to put the work in. You have to want to lock in. You have to want to live a better life. Or maybe you love the temptation too much. Maybe you love the sin too much. Maybe you love corn too much. But if you love yourself, you'll stop. If you truly love yourself, you'll stop. If you truly want to see yourself self-improve, you'll stop. If you truly want to be the best version of yourself, you'll stop. Leave that in the prior years. Leave that in the prior weeks. Leave it. Let today be the last day. Let today be the day that you stop. Let today be the day that you stop. Let today be the day that you stop. You deserve to live a better life. You deserve to see what your life looks like, leaving the shackles of this thing. Break free. It has a lot of y'all in a mental slavery. You got to break free, King. You got to break free, man. I'm talking to you, bro. You got to break free. You got to get your life back, man. Please get your life back. You deserve to see what your life looks like when you break free. You deserve to see what your life looks like when you lock in. You deserve to see what your life looks like when you don't prioritize that anymore. You deserve to see what your life looks like. You deserve to see what your life looks like. But you got to be serious about it. You got to be serious about changing your life. You got to be serious about it. You got to be serious about blocking out that content and not following that path anymore. You got to be serious about protecting your eyes. That's the beauty of NoFap. That's the beauty of semen retention. That's the beauty of going celibate. That's the beauty of not watching porn. It rewires your whole brain. You have to rewire your brain. You got to desexualize your mind and rewire your brain. Go back to normal. You have to be honest with yourself. Where you at right now is not normal, King. It's just not normal. That's not how life is supposed to be. It's not normal to do that. How much more work could you have gotten done if you didn't prioritize that? How many genuine relationships and conversations could you have had if you didn't prioritize that? How many conversations with God could you have had if you didn't prioritize that? How many more times could you have been on your purpose to make a better life for yourself if you didn't prioritize that? How much more purposeful could you have been if you didn't prioritize that? The problem is you're prioritizing something that has no value, and it brings no value to you. It brings no value to you. So when you do things that have no value, that has no purpose, it will destroy you because it's dead. It has no life. There's no life in it. It drains you. It literally drains you. It literally drains you. Get your energy back. Keep your energy in. Keep your energy in. Semen retention, bro. We got multiple videos on that. We're going to keep making videos on that because it's important. Let's lock in, man. I got a book coming out, and the beautiful thing is, in addition to the book, I talk more about lust and how to defeat it. I'm not going to spoil the surprise and what I got coming, but it's dropping soon. And I want you to make sure that you, in the link below, make sure that you sign up for the book launch. If you need help with this, please sign up for the book launch. If you need help with lust, there will be a lot of goodies in that release that I'll be providing to help you with that. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.